Welcome to Sculpture Vulture. I'm Lucy Branch, a sculptural conservator and author, bringing you a series of interviews with some amazing sculptors who inspire me, and I hope will do the same for you. You can see the photographs accompanying the interview, the episode show notes, and get a free novel from sculpturevulture.co.uk. Hello Sculpture Vultures! This is another little mini-sode just before we kick off properly next Tuesday with Hazel Reeves' fantastic interview. I was working last week in Camden in London doing some conservation work on the Amy Winehouse statue by the sculptor Scott Eaton. She's just a fabulous sculpture, such a cool, trendy place. Camden is a place I can count as my own backyard because I was born in North London, and I used to go there when I was younger, probably a little bit younger than I should have been. And as I went off to university in Bloomsbury, I spent a lot of my student nights there too. It's always been a vibrant place, but it's been cleaned up a lot now, so it's even swankier than it used to be. And the stables, which is where Amy Winehouse's statue is located, is well worth checking out. It's got some very cool shops, really unusual aesthetics, colossal shiny robots, Hansel and Gretel's Emporium, loads more besides. And Amy is this fabulous little statue, and I say little because actually it's a life-size sculpture. And when you stand next to her, you realise how slender she was. There was really nothing of her. She had a waist that I think Scarlett O'Hara would have been jealous of. And needless to say, I felt like a hippo next to her. And as my son was assisting me on this project, he was only too quick to agree that I definitely did look like a hippo. The statue was suffering some over-loving, too much love from her public. Incredibly, that really is possible. Her adoring fans just think so much of her that they can't keep their hands off her, and they're stroking every inch of the surface. And there's a reason why bronze statues were traditionally put up on stone plinths, and it's partly to protect them. Sweat on people's hands can be really ruinous to a bronze's patina, and sadly Amy looked a little like she'd developed a disease because the surface had become so disfigured. I'm glad to report that she's looking much better now if you're going to go and visit, and I do encourage you to go. What a gal, what a voice, what a statue, and how fondly she's remembered by people in that area. I had a lot of visitors stop and tell me that she was their friend, or that she used to greet them every day, or that they had little anecdotes to share about her. And there aren't many sculptures that you can actually find in Camden. There's plenty of great murals, but that's another show. But she's in a perfect for that place, and I'm not sure that any other celebrity could fit quite so well there. If you'd like to see some more sculptures in that area, then you need to take a little bit of a walk, less than 2 miles, which if you're having a day out is really nothing, and it goes past some really interesting places. But you'll find Regent's Park. And my favourite sculpture there is in the Queen Mary's garden, and really not very far from Camden. And although there are several sculptures in Regent's Park, the one you cannot miss, the one I never miss whenever I visit there, is the Triton Fountain, which is designed by William Macmillan. He also designed one of the fountains in Trafalgar Square. But I think this fountain is one of our country's best. Sculptural fountains have all sorts of problems with them, conservation problems. They get blocked up, they get leaks, limescale. They really are awkward, which is why many of the Victorian ones don't perform their true purpose anymore. And this one is really spectacular when it's going full throttle particularly, and if the wind catches it you're liable to get really wet, but if it's a warm day you won't mind that because it's really super. The statues are full of energy, the figures just magnificent, and they thrash about and they look like they're making mischief, and I really love them. Just to finish that perfect Sculpture Vulture kind of day, I'd recommend walking just to the outskirts of the park to the roundabout where the Lord's cricket ground is, and you'll find in the centre of that roundabout a huge monument, a sculpture of George and the Dragon. I don't think we have enough knights in sculpture. They're so dramatic, just perfect subject matter for sculptors. And although I'm a huge animal lover, I have to tell you that slaying a dragon I find incredibly exciting. And this one does not let you down. It reminds me so much of that gorgeous hymn, When a Knight Won His Spurs, in the stories of old. And I'm not going to sing it because I really can't. Haven't got the spirit of Amy Winehouse in me this morning. But it really is a gallant and bold sculpture. And I could go on and tell you about another little sculpture that's round the corner of Wendy Taylor, which is only yards away, but I'm going to save that one for another day, as I'm sure I'll have more time to tell you about it then. I'm going to sign off and get on with my busy schedule this morning. I hope you have a great week and consider visiting these fantastic statues if you have a few hours in London. Listen out on Tuesday's episode if you want to be inspired by sculpture. If you're looking for a new book, please consider one of my novels about the dark side of the art world, where sculpture is always at the heart of the story. You can get them on the show website, on the usual online retailers, or even better, keep your local library alive, ask for them in there. Thank you for joining me today. Sculpture Vulture has been brought to you by Antique Bronze.